What's up, people? It's your boy Sly. In this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of having a social life. I started noticing as I got older that having hobbies is very important. And I started understanding that having a good sense of humor can make you more networks. Here's the thing. Having a positive social life, it kind of defines who you are as a person. Because when you have a positive social life, it shows your personality and it shows that in most cases, you are probably a happy person. Many people do not have hobbies. And these are the people that usually end up miserable and frustrated. Because hobbies make us happy, make us feel better about ourselves. So let me speak on this real quick. When you have a positive social life, people want to be around you more because they can learn from you. So when you meet people, when you go to like a social event or social gathering or an organization, people are going to ask you, like, what is your career? What are your hobbies? And where have you traveled to? Okay? And a lot of times people ask these questions because these questions get to know who you are. Okay? Like if you tell someone like your career is you work in finance. Okay? Oh, that sounds interesting. You must have met, someone may say, oh, that's interesting. You must have met all kinds of people that who come to your firm for investments and opportunities. You know, they can tell stories of, what I mean? They can tell stories of people who came for funding, the types of ideas that they help to, give funding to. So, you know what I mean? So you sound interesting. Okay? Then in some cases, some people are going to ask you, so where have you traveled to? When they ask this question, they want to know how well informed you are or how well traveled you are. For example, you tell someone, I've been to New York City. I went to the Chinatown. I went to the Caribbean town, for example. I went to a Jamaican restaurant. I went to the Italian street. Those type of things. People, oh wow. So people become more intrigued because you traveled and because you learned more about different cultures. See? And your hobbies. People ask you, so what do you do for fun? Sometimes someone may ask you, say like, I play guitar. And someone will say, oh, you play guitar? What do you play? I play neo soul. I play rock. I play jazz. Oh, people get intrigued. So where do you play? Oh, I just play down the street with my friends. We play like once a month. And they would say, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Next time you're going to play, let me know. You see? Do you not see what just happened there? The guy just built a network right there. Because you sound interesting. When you sound interesting, people want to be around you more. Okay? In society, it is politically incorrect to call somebody boring. But the truth is, many people are boring. Okay? Many people are boring. And they're boring because they have no hobbies. And many of them work jobs they don't like. Okay? I will tell you this. How you know someone hates their job is if they can't tell you what they do for a living. Period. If someone can't tell you what they do for a living, they hate their job. Period. And believe it or not, man, a lot of people allow their job they hate to consume their life. Okay? They allow it to consume their life. You know, like a lot of people hate certain like some people hate their coworkers. They don't like the supervisors, but they stay there for different reasons. Because part of it because they have no options, or they're waiting for another job to come through, whatever. And these people usually have like they're not interesting to talk to. Many of them are not interesting. And when you're not interesting, people don't want to be around you. Period. Okay? See, I mean, I had to learn this the hard way in the sense where I had no hobbies. Like back then, I had no hobbies. Literally, I had no hobbies at all. Where I would just, like, for example, what I do for fun? I like hang out with my friends, or like, I can't even say anything. I can't even say anything because I never had any hobbies. I mean, I never had hobbies that were really interesting. I didn't. I never did. So it was like it hit me a while ago. Like, oh shit, you gotta start doing something to make yourself sound interesting because people want to be around people who are doing stuff. Okay. You don't have to have many hobbies. You don't have to have multiple ones. Just one or two that stand out. Okay? Because it's not only to make networks, but it's also to make yourself happy. See, watching movies, watching Netflix is not a hobby. It really isn't. Because that hobby, you sit in one position. That's it. Watching movies is not a hobby. Okay, to some people it is. But if that's a hobby, it doesn't sound very interesting. Okay? Like, I started learning this stuff as I got. See, I tell you guys this stuff because if I learned this shit when I was in my 20s, my life could have been totally different. Okay? I started seeing that people who are successful in life, they have so many hobbies. And they only talk to people who have other interesting hobbies. For example, you tell someone now and say, one of my hobbies is I like to sing. You know? Okay, wow. What have you made an album before? Or have you do you sing at concerts? And you tell them, I sing in local clubs just for fun, or I do this, I do that. Oh wow, that sounds interesting. You see, people now want to talk to you. You tell somebody right now, like, I am a food tourist. Okay? And somebody will say to you, what is a food tourist? And they'll tell you, a food tourist is basically someone who goes to other cities for the main purpose of tasting different cuisines. Okay? That's what people do. That's, to be very honest, that sounds like a very interesting hobby. Okay? Like, you have someone that lives in Seattle, they fly all the way to Philadelphia to get a Philly cheesesteak. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of those interesting hobbies out there. People do these things, And people want to ask you, like you flew all the way from Seattle to Philadelphia just to taste some food? People will be like, yeah, to some people that may sound crazy, but to other people, it's like, oh my goodness. So how was it? People will start asking you about how the food tastes. What else did you do on your trip? That what I mean? People get more intrigued and they want to talk to you. Do you not see what I'm talking about right now? That's what I'm trying to emphasize. When you sound interesting, people want to talk to you more. Many people I have seen, and other people have seen this shit too, a lot of people are just boring. Okay? They have no social life. They don't do anything for fun. And in some cases, people are miserable because they hate their lives. So they have no time for socializing because they spend all their time trying to make ends meet. Or they spend their time angry, mad about life, frustrated. And that's part of the reason why these people usually end up alone. Because when when you give positive energy, people are going to talk to you. People are going to be around you more. Like I see some of these like celebrities, right? Like, let me give you an example. I see Will Smith. Okay, Will Smith does a lot of motivational like videos and just interviews online. Will Smith has so many hobbies that I didn't even knew it even existed. You know what I mean? Will Smith has done so many things where it makes me say to myself, you know what? I want to do what he does. Like Will Smith, I saw a clip of him bungee jumping. I saw him skydiving. You know what I mean? Like those type of things. Like if you see someone do those type of things, you're like, oh wow, I want to talk to this person. I want to see how was that experience. You see what I mean? So when you have hobbies, people want to talk to you more. Okay? So, I mean, that's the whole point. Because I started learning these things as I got older. Like, you got to have hobbies. You got to have hobbies. Nobody wants to be around a boring person. I have met people who are so boring. I would pretend that they are interesting. Okay? Like, there's some people, like, I would tell about my life, like, funny stories I've done, things I've encountered that are kind of funny and interesting. These motherfuckers have nothing to add into the conversation. They have nothing to add. They just look at you. Oh, cool. So I looked at myself like, these people, like, what the, like, so I became very conscious of certain people. Like, okay, this person doesn't sound interesting. I'm not going to talk to him. Because there's no point. There's no point you talking to someone who doesn't sound interesting. People who bring negative energy, they sit there and talk shit. Let me tell you about life. When you are successful in life, you ain't got time to gossip because you are busy enjoying life. You see what I mean? You don't have time to talk shit. You ain't got time for that. You ain't got time because you have so many positive things you're doing. Why would you waste your time talking shit about someone who ain't doing nothing? Okay? So I started noticing these things where if you are more successful in your life, you'll be happier. And when you're happy, more people are going to be around you. A lot of people can't hide their misery. They cannot hide it. So they end up chasing people away through negative advice or like negative like tones they give. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's the way it is. You know, I'm just telling you guys, if you don't have a positive social life, start looking up some things to do. Because even if you had a career, okay, let's say that you have a career and you make a lot of money, for example. If you ain't got hobbies, people are not going to talk to you either. You know what I mean? Like, people are not going to talk to you just because you have a career or because you're wealthy. Like, there are many people who are rich who are boring as well. Trust me. You know? So you gotta have hobbies, you gotta have things to make yourself happy. And those things can lead to networks. It can lead to more people talking to you, more people who will want to work with you. Because a lot of people don't move up in rank because they're smart. They move up in rank because they have good social skills and they have good social life. It has nothing to do with work ethic. People don't understand this, but I'm trying to let you guys know how it works. But anyhow, let me know what you think. Peace.